When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, passing your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quiz.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room, and we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Oakland Raiders. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Running from the gun with Henry. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Check. Right there, 54, right there.
Bridgewater. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Here goes that. Hey, lady. Double dog. Protein spill. You got that. You got that right there. Lady. Lucky. Check 52. It's that.
And they try to sweep to Jones. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. Jamal Sheard on the stop.
But that's not a call you see every day. A toss play inside their own 10-yard line. Takes a little bit of brass right there, and they were able to get a little bit of yardage.
He'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss.
You draw Porter.
Now it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Darnold from the gun. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Dee Ford able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. He finds Humphreys. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Bridgewater on 1st down. Completes it to Dixon. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down now. It's Henry, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it's going to be tipped up and picked off.
And Zerline's kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Darnold. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
First down, Raiders.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the slant. Check 4, check, lady. General West. Rush in.
They'll run it with Jones. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
You don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. You can't block me.
Now on 2nd and 13. Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quentin Williams coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. D Ford in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A first update now out of Jacksonville. The Jets out to the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Yeah, I got you. Kill. Turn it up, please. Kill, turn it up. Check.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice, not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The end result, 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Wide, get wide. Shit.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Texans 3, Raiders nothing.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They begin with Henry, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 40 now on second down, Bridgewater.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response.
He's coming. We got double up. Hey, watch it.
From the gun, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. And Darnold just beating the play clock. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
A gain of 8 yards.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
57 Mike. Push him back.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold, and that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Tight dog.
Bridgewater to throw it. And caught by Henry. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action. Bridgewater. He gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Motivation. Right there. 56. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
To throw, Bridgewater. And this is caught. It's Parker. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Strip that ball.
Bridgewater. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Bridgewater. He'll find Parker again. Complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
A gain of 7 brings up 2nd down at their 48-yard line.
Let's go now. AC Gator.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. There he goes, right side. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
You talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half. To carry that with them, it's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mo.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Back to it after the pick six. Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time, and it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing, Bridgewater. Open man is Jacob Hollister. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
First down, Raiders.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Second down and 10, Darnold. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
Let's hear it, Texans fans, because it's third down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Here's Jamie Gillandale. He's been terrific so far. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line.
At their own 11-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Off of play action, Darnold. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. He's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Y'all playing wrong football. Mike 48, Mike 48. You don't want nothing, baby. You don't want nothing. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want me.
Here's Darnold. That one caught by Ellison. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards that time.
And the Raider first down.
We're going to sack. Hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Check three, check three, check three.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
We're going to sack. 48 Mike. There's the party now. 48 to Mike. I'm coming up to you.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. That's complete to Sharp. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
A gain of 9.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Check 3, check 3. 25, check 25, check 25.
Third and long, it's Darnold. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. A gain of 39 that time. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Jones. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Here's Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The safety Jamal Adams able to break that one up.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Gay's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Bridgewater now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He gets it to Humphreys. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A first carry for Elijah McGuire. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second and 9 now from the 21.
Here we go, ladies. He's checking. Crash.
Darnold down to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Brown coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 15.
Hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. Come on, boys. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. Kill. Jet.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Bridgewater now from the 50. It's caught. Humphreys. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's Bridgewater. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphreys. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
And again, it's Bridgewater. That's caught by Hollister. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 24-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Derrick Henry. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 at the Raiders' 7-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's go one more.
On 2nd and 7, Bridgewater. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. The Texans on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. Bridgewater to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Zerline's kick is up and through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they're looking for a net
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Patrick Owasor in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Darnold. He's got his man. This is Tate. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Darnold now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. He's got his man Sharp, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
40. We're gonna start. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
On first down, it's Darnold. Got his man. It's Eifert. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
What the? Lady.
Again, Darnold. He completes it to Tate. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Raiders on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah. Right, 58, right there. I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school. Check 24, check 24. Check.
Throwing again is Darnold. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who have had the receivers on lockdown.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's see what you got. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the
Jones. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
2nd and 12. Darnold, he sets up the screen to Jones. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Ronald Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing, Bridgewater. Completes it to Dixon. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater completes it to Dixon. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. First down, Bridgewater. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Bridgewater again. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
56, Mike 56. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
back to the ground, this time with Jones. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And it brings up 3rd down.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell Suggs able to record his 5th sack of the season. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Bridgewater. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. This is Henry, and he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing is Bridgewater. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw, Bridgewater. Complete, it's Henry. Only 2 there on the dump off. It's 3rd down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Mike, 56. That's it. 56.
Now Bridgewater on 4th down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Bridgewater to throw for it on 4th. Now in desperation, and got his man complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To the air again with Bridgewater. Catch made by Slayton. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
That's another Texan 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And again, it's Bridgewater. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for Oakland, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressed in all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of a distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You wanna Christ when I breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm the sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no longer. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no longer. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Made it killing and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide on